Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Want to know what's happening in your city? Get Notify Me messages from the City of Fitchburg. Visit fitchburgwi.gov on your computer or mobile device and select the big Notify Me button on the left. Enter your email and/or phone number, whichever is best for you to get notifications. Scroll down the list and select all the topics you're interested in to receive email or text messages about. You'll be notified every time one of your topics is updated. Sign up for Notify Me, one more way to keep up with your Fitchburg government.
Should we be able to see you all, Jessica?
You should be able to see the... Scott said not yet, but soon.
Okay.
They're good to go? All right, you're good to go.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining our August 6th, 2025 Healthy Neighborhood Advisory Committee meeting. We have 3 committee members present as well as our staff contact. And let's call this meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. The agenda item for approval of minutes might need to be skipped for now since we don't have quorum.
Sorry, you can't call the meeting to order because there's not quorum.
I get it.
Anything requiring an action, you can't do. Just go straight to discussion.
Thank you for the direction. Yes, we have some wonderful community service providers that I'm really excited to hear from. And these are our 2024 Healthy Neighborhood Grant recipients. And we're really grateful to have to start off with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And if a representative from them is ready, then we would love to hear from you.
Great. Yeah, thanks for having me. So yeah, I'm Simon Gott. I'm the program director at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County. I've been with the agency now for 7 years. And thanks for your time. I'm excited to share the impact of your investment in BBBS over the course of 2024. So we aim to strengthen connections by offering at least 20 events and opportunities in 2024. Using feedback from matches to inform and adjust our offerings, we measured this using program calendars and program attendance. In 2024, we offered 38 match engagement opportunities, including skiing at Tyrrell Basin with Hoofer's UW Club, night at the Opera with the Overture Center, Boulders Climbing Gym, archery night, steam camp, and art night. Through previous survey results, we know that after about 6 months, bigs feel out of ideas, so we're happy to help matches meet the minimum requirement of meeting twice a month by hosting a minimum of 2 events per month. The attendance has been great at around 15 matches per event, and since we plan to do 90% of the same activities as last year, a lot of people are glad that they didn't miss their chance to attend. We're also better positioned to make slight improvements to events as opposed to trying something new every month, since we have staff who have led the event planning process for over a year now and understand the logistics of ensuring a quality event. For the second goal, we aim to match at least 15 new youth and support 29 current youth in matches. The average amount of time for a little to get matched is 6 months, which is 180 days, but the average amount of time for a big to get matched is 45 days. We want to ensure a speedy enrollment process, but we do not sacrifice on quality, so we ensure that we take all factors into account before matching a child with a mentor. And for goal 3, we'll take a look at this next slide. So we saw another year of growth in the community and school-based mentoring programs. More littles are forming bonds with bigs that will last a lifetime, creating ripples of positive change that extend far beyond our organization. We've been adapting, innovating, and growing stronger as a community resource dedicated to empowering youth. We served 547 children and families this year as a total, expanding our network to more communities than ever. And you can see some of the highlights here from the impact. 92% of littles improve in maintain or improve academic performance. We really highlight the socio-emotional skills as well. And we expanded our volunteer recruitment efforts this year to 2024, to make the program more inclusive to all potential mentors, ensuring every child has a positive role model. In 2025, we launched a new strategic plan that will guide our organization into the future, focusing on growth, sustainability, and innovation. This plan strengthens our mentorship programs, expands into underserved communities, and enhances support for both bigs and littles. There we go. So yeah, this is just a really great match that we've been supporting over 7 years, I think this match was. So I'll just give folks a chance to read that. And I can add that Sonia, the mom in this match, she works really long hours, doing everything she can to support 2 sons. She said that Jason is family now and helped her son learn how to cook, learn about money, fix his bike, prepare for his driver's license, get through panic attacks and academic struggles. She said, "I don't know what I would do without Jason. He's been helping so much with school, mental health, and just being in his corner." In terms of challenges, we're always facing a need for mentors. We're always looking for mentors of color. Demand for services continues to rise. Number of available volunteers isn't keeping pace. Many potential bigs want to help, but hesitate due to time constraints, uncertainty about how to connect with their little, or simply not knowing where to start. Once a match is made, we've learned that consistent support makes all the difference. That's why we're investing in better follow-up, stronger communication, and more responsive case management. And we're also closely working with community partners like student-led UW Medicine Club to build a pipeline of new, younger mentors, particularly for the school sites. And then finally, we're investing more time and effort into getting responses from surveys and just listening to what people have to say about us in the community. We've recently launched efforts to collect feedback from former bigs to understand what helped them feel supported and what didn't. And yeah, we're excited to work through those results here soon. Thanks for your time. And if anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much. I have a question. I know that it seems there's always a challenge to find more mentors. Can you talk a little bit about maybe any trends that you're noticing as far as, are there fewer mentors now than there have been in the past? Or kind of talk to us about, like, I'm assuming there's probably more need now than previous years. I don't really know.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. As a nation, volunteer interest has gone down, and Big Brothers Big Sisters nationally follows that trend line pretty closely. As an organization, in the last 2 years, we've seen growth, but it's still not as large as it was in 2019 in Dane County. That was our highest year, as far as I know, in terms of youth served and number of volunteers. We are hoping that by continuing to expand into new sites, it's a much more palatable volunteer opportunity, and you've got a BBBS staff person there who's planned everything, who's got you matched up with a kid, and is taking care of the activity. All you need to do as a volunteer is just show up, and that's a really appealing opportunity for particularly college students. So we're kind of following the momentum in that regard. But it's a consistent challenge, and we're always trying new stuff and campaigns, but in particular in recent years, we're really trying to invest more in that site-based piece.
Thank you. Any other questions? We really appreciate your continued use of our grant funds, and especially your continued work in our community, which is really important. And thank you so much for coming and telling us a little bit about your challenges and what you're seeing.
Of course, thank you very much.
Next, we have Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. We are definitely running 10 minutes early, but if you are present, then feel free to come forward.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, good to see you. Hello, I'm Aubrey with Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County. I have Tiffany here with me.
Hello, everybody.
I am a club director with our Fitchburg location, our Allied Boys and Girls Club, and we are here to talk about and give an update about our Fitchburg H&I grant. So I will wait for this to pop up so everybody can see. But as we are getting that pulled up, a little bit about Boys and Girls Club. So we serve from the ages of 2.5 to 24 daily throughout Dane County with our various programs, which is a huge outreach, which is amazing that we're able to serve all of the youth and teens that we do in our programs, down from infants all the way to supporting up until they are adults. Our clubs really provide the innovative programming designed to empower youth to excel in their lives, and that really goes right in line with the Fitchburg H&I 5-year strategic plan as well, especially in the areas of education and life skills as well. So to get into our numbers, we can go to the next slide. We can go to the next one after that. Our goal for this grant cycle has been to serve 299 youth and teens through our mentoring program. And so far we have served 265, 71 being from the Belmar, Renaissance on the Park, and Verona West neighborhoods. And then within our Fitchburg residents inside of our priority neighborhoods, we have served an additional 97, and 15 that are Fitchburg residents that are outside of our priority neighborhoods, and 153 youth and teens that are not Fitchburg residents. We can go to the next slide. So our first outcome objective is for 90% of all of the youth and teens in our mentoring program to maintain what is consistent attendance, which we define as attending 52 times or more during the year. And that is defined by Boys and Girls Club of America. We are excited to say that so far, as of today, we have served 230 of the 265 participants have achieved that minimum of 52 attendance days, which is 84%. All of our participants are enrolled in our mentoring program upon signing up for Boys and Girls Club. Our second outcome objective was for at least 90% of the youth and teens to participate in outreach with law enforcement. So the update that we have is our allied leadership has reached out to the Fitchburg officers to continue a community program that we had last school year, where an officer would come in and kind of hang out with our kids, spend time with them, expose them to just time where you get to hang out with an officer. So that is currently being planned. We're on our teen side, we are currently planning an art night, a basketball night, and a video game night to have some teen focus where they get to hang out with the officers again in a more social setting. And then we also have invited our Fitchburg officers to our upcoming back to school event, where we are asking them to help us run tug of war and mini golf with our Boys and Girls Club staff. And we're really looking for our youth and teens to be able to feel increased comfort with those law officers. So when there is something that is wrong, or if they need to talk to somebody, that they can go to those officers as well. And our third objective is to expose at least 20 participating youth and teens to 5 skilled trades and workforce opportunities in partnership with our McKenzie Regional Workforce Center, which is right down the road from our Allied Club. Where we are at currently is we have a tour of the building scheduled for mid-September, where we are hoping to also get on the simulator for the big semi, there we go, the semi simulator. Mid-October, we have a career workshop where we are inviting different industries and companies that we are focused on career paths, but also focused on in your neighborhoods, what are the job opportunities that you have right now as a high schooler that are available to you in your community. And then we are collaborating with the McKenzie Regional Workforce Center to transport teens to upcoming career-focused speaking events. And that is including, they are having a, one moment, I took a note on it. They are having an upcoming skills trade program that they are starting, and they have invited us to be a part of priority registration for our teens as well, which is a huge opportunity for us as well. And that is our update. We thank you for having us. And if there's any questions, we are here to answer.
Thank you so much. Okay, so are there any questions from committee members? I have a question. I know that you have volunteers, and I'm wondering if you're facing challenges with getting volunteers, or alternatively, just kind of flipping that question around, and what challenges are you facing right now? Kind of the biggest challenges, I guess.
Sure. I would say our biggest challenge is that, so we have a very consistent group of kids and teens that come from summer and school year, but we do lose some of those teens and some of those kids when we transition for transportation reasons, for other reasons, where when we go into our new enrollment period, we do see that we have kind of a very consistent school year, and then there are some that we only get to see 3 months out of the year in the summer. I would say is our biggest challenge. And then on the volunteer sides, currently our mentoring program is mostly staff-based. So it is focused on our staff running their mentoring groups, which is the groups that they are with during the after-school program. Volunteers is something that we are looking to add in the future, but so that is not something that we have quite faced yet. Yeah.
And we really focus on bringing in partner programs, so volunteer groups come in and deliver certain content throughout the day. We don't have a lot of volunteers necessarily in our program. We get a lot of our volunteers actually support through our big community events. Like we have Back to School, where we'll serve over 500 youth, followed up in October by Coats for Kids, so we'll distribute over 5,000 coats to the community. We really lean into our volunteers in that space. As well as we've had a lot of volunteer corporations reach out this summer that want their businesses to get involved with like one-day beautification projects, painting, cleaning windows, weeding, right, planting gardens. So we're kind of seeing our volunteers come at us in a different way as well this year, and it's been very successful. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all that, those opportunities that you're working with community partners, and thank you for all of your work in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have the Latino Academy of Workforce Development. If you are present, we would love to hear from you. And again, we are 10 minutes early, so that is okay if you're not. Oh, welcome.
Got it.
Let me know when you want me to switch the slides.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for inviting us and be part of this conversation. So my name is Nidia Martinez. I'm the Executive Director for the Latino Academy of Workforce Development. And with me is...
Julio Garcia, the Director of Education. I basically manage the GED program that is part of the Healthy Neighborhoods.
Yeah, so as part of the funding that we receive for the Healthy Neighborhoods, that funding goes for the GED, HSED programs in Spanish, as well as for commercial driver license programs. So if we can switch the next. Oh, before you turn, actually, I just wanted to point out the image that we have here is in May we had our graduation for 2024, and it was a graduation for GED as well as our CDL program. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that technical support there. Yes, so as part of that graduation, as you see that we had our students, we had 58 students from GED who graduated and 56 students for CDL that were graduated for the 2024-2025 academic year for us. Yeah, so we can switch in the next slide. So I think for those of you who don't know the Latino Academy, one of the things that we do is the strengthening of the Fitchburg workforce through both education as well as training. So in our program, we were funded, the Latino Academy was funded in 2011, but as a nonprofit has been for the last 3 years. Our mission is strengthening. You okay? Okay. Our mission is to strengthen the diverse communities, again, through this collaboration between foundational education as well as short-term certification with the goal of helping families to achieve family-sustaining wages. The impact, approximately in a year, we serve anything between about 2,200 students in 2024. That was the approximate service that we offer for the students. Some of the key programs that we have in our organization includes GED, HSED, in Spanish program that we have. Our ESL digital literacy program is in the education area, our transportation program, as well as we have construction and hospitality and foundational entrepreneurship programs in this case. So yeah, we can continue to the next.
Yep. And basically, more related to Fitchburg, I'm guessing that it's not a surprise to you that the amount of Hispanic population in Fitchburg has increased significantly in the last years. I mean, in these critical areas that you pointed out in your proposal, in, for example, the Sun Valley apartments, basically that's, if you look at, just go look at the doors, it's basically 100%, I'm going to say, Hispanic speakers in there, also in apartments like New Fountains, all in the Fitchburg area. So many of the newcomers, people coming into the area, are like settling down in Fitchburg, and that is why it is so critical that the Latino Academy can provide this support. In what we are seeing in the terms of need, people arriving into the area, usually they come to the Latino Academy to find support in finding employment, and we can provide them with information about the services that we do. Many of these people coming into the area, they already come with a high school degree for their home country, sometimes with a college degree. So one of the first steps that we can work with them is a way for them to validate that degree into the U.S. That will allow them to find employment more easily, because it's the high school degree is going to be one of the requirements, and more importantly, once they validate the degree, they are going to have access to classes in Madison College that they can maybe retake their career. Maybe we have people coming with engineering degrees that may do like a short-term certificate in Madison College that would allow them to retake their career and use their skills within the Fitchburg economy. So those are like the key areas. The CDL also is one of it's our flagship program, and it provides really changes the lives of the people who go through the program, because now those careers in transportation, they offer they are very well paid, and they offer a lot of securities. Many of our graduates try to get into the county, in the county highway department, and that really is a complete, a game changer for them. They go from 2 jobs to 1 job with benefits, vacation, more time with the family. So that's one of the game changers. And we are partnering with the library. We are promoting our classes together with the library. And next week we are gonna be at the meeting they are going to have in the park. So we are establishing a close relationship with Fitchburg entities. If we can move on, if we want to measure the impact, just one thing, right now, the program we have is very, in GED specifically, it's been very successful. People are being very committed, and we can say 90% of the people that enroll in the program are able to graduate. 70% of them graduate within 9 months. That's 2 semesters with us. The rest, probably 80%, would graduate within a year, and 90% is the total of people graduating. So it's the number of people dropping out of the class is very small at this point. And it's because of the work that we are doing, that Laura, that is doing an amazing job, measuring the commitment and making clear to the students that they need to progress in the class. Similarly, with the CDL, most people that go through our program graduate, over 80%, and we would like to increase the number of people going through the program. For that, we are looking for more instructors. But it's these high graduation rates are basically a testimony of the wraparound services, the one-on-one support that we provide to the students, and that's why they are coming back to us, and they are referring some of our family members, friends coming into the area to us.
Yeah.
So,
in regards to the CDL program, this is a federal funded program too. So therefore, as you can see, for example, in this image, the family that is in the top, we also collaborate with the Urban League. So we not only serving Latino population, we also serve African American as well as immigrants from other countries that benefit from this program. So this is one of the most inclusive programs that we have. And also because of the requirements, they have to have high levels of English, they have to have their work permit, they have to fulfill certain requirements in this area. So then this is one of the more diverse programs that we have. When it comes to the CDL program, specifically for Fitchburg, in 2024, 16 Fitchburg residents applied to the program. Out of the 16, only 5 were admitted because we have a very strict guidelines on who can be entered into the program. And then out of those 5 that had been admitted, 2 have completed the training and have received employment, and 3, they're still going through the process right now in this area. Yeah, and
Yep, I would like to add just those people who don't qualify for the program, usually it's going to be because their English is not good enough yet, or because depending on the immigration status, the CDL program, not everybody who has a work permit qualifies to get a CDL program. So there may be people that are still in the process of updating to some other immigration status that would allow them to go through the program.
Yeah. Thank you. And we can change to the next one. Yeah, so in this case, we had done the funding request that we had made, and we received for the 2024 was $15,000 in that, and it was in this case to support the GED and GED and their CDL program in the Fitchburg students. The reason, when it comes to how this funding was utilized, so the cost for approximately for a GED students is anything between we say $800 to $1,500 per student, and everything depends on at what state they come in. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, maybe the level. I mean, it's hard to come up with a number for a student because many students come in different circumstances. Some students may graduate within 5 months without not needing much support from our coordinator. They can basically manage on their own. Other students would need a lot of support or coming to us to learn about the use of computers that they are going to need to graduate, to do the homework for the program. So it's really hard to come up with a number. We would say, that around $1,000 could be the number that we could use. And I would say also this money from Fitchburg, even if this grant focuses on these two programs, residents of Fitchburg still receive services from us in many other areas. We are having the SERSEF class, we are having the ESL classes, computer literacy classes. So those giving our closeness to Fitchburg, we are right by the Beltline. So basically we are in Madison, but we are surrounded by Fitchburg. Many of the people who stop by the office are people who live, as I said, maybe in New Fountains, maybe in Sun Valley, on Fish Hatchery, so all these apartment complexes. And the good thing with the Latino Academy is that we operate very much by word of mouth. So the moment that somebody in one of those neighborhoods come to us, they get a class, they get a benefit from us, immediately you can see that it spreads and people start coming to get support, getting a curriculum done, to having support to apply for a job. So it's a very comprehensive service, the one we offer to the whole of Fitchburg community.
Yeah, and I also wanted to add that one of the things that has been added to both of the classes of CDL as well as GED has been computer literacy. The communities, they come in, mostly the computer or their digital access is their phone. So therefore, computer literacy is an essential component that has been something that has been added to it. Is not necessarily has originally been part of the programs, but now it is. We had made it integral. So we collaborate with a variety of organizations so that students that receive the services, CDL, GED, etc., they go through computer literacy program and they receive a computer. So now we have that support, additional support, to make sure that they are successful in a job market that is for the 21st century, right? And computer literacy is essential to that.
Yeah, this summer we have distributed 58 computers amongst our participants, laptops for them to keep.
Yeah. So I think that would be the end of it.
If there are any questions.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the committee?
I have a question. Yeah, first of all, thank you. Fantastic information. Really appreciated all of that. And I'm just curious, with the CDL program, have you been able to have a gender bias, or not a gender bias, a gender balance in your participants, or yeah, just kind of curious what that ends up looking like.
Yeah, actually, I mean, we graduate at least one female per cohort at this point. Normally, this has a male-centric industry in general, but we are graduating women, both Latinas as well. I think African American has been the two communities that we had worked with in this case. It still continues to be a lower percentage. The majority are men, but we do have instructors that are female too. So, yeah. So
that's one of the focus of the program. When we go to the radio, we always emphasize that, because specifically within our community, it's always the question that, are women allowed to do that? And the answer is yes. So one of the big successes that we have had in the past with the program is one of our graduates got a job with the department of the highway department in the county, and right now she has become like the main instructor for the program. So she's the one who leads the program, and that's basically one of our big successes. She was the first Latina to join the Dane County Highway Department, and now she's the one leading the instruction of all people coming into the department.
Yeah, but that conversation goes across the workforce, especially right the trades. Women normally are underrepresented, even though because in part of it for our community might be cultural on those ideas, but it's not just for the CDL program; it's also for construction and so on. So it is always important for us too that this is a female Latina-led organization, and we have both instructors as well as students, and we highlight that component because it's a big part of our goal.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the information that you presented, for your work in the community, and for your continued, returning to our program for requesting funds. We really are glad that we're able to support you and your important work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up, we have Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin, if you are present.
Hello, I'm here online. I don't know. Hello. Thanks for making the time for us tonight. I don't know if my presentation got to the right place.
Hold on. Yep, Lori, I've got it. I've got it pulled up, and then just let me know when you would like for me to switch through the slides. Can she see on her end?
Great. Is that
Okay.
Jessica?
Yep, that would be me.
Yeah, I'm so sorry it was late, but thank you very much for always being so flexible.
Of course.
And you can go ahead and start it.
Hey, Lori, if you check on your Zoom feed, the return that we're sending back should be your presentation right now.
Got it. Okay, so
What I am seeing is the seats in front of the speaker table.
Same.
My bad.
I am not seeing the presentation.
How about now?
Thanks, Ari. I thought, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me.
Right? Ah, there we go. Yeah.
There it is. All right.
Is
Okay,
it
good.
cut off?
Yeah, is it possible to see the whole thing? There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Right. I'm Lori Picard with Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin. We received the funding for 2024 for 2 of our mobile pantry programs. Between the 2, we run 8 per month, food distributions in the targeted healthy neighborhoods. So you can advance, please. So we are very appreciative of the city of Fitchburg. We requested $15,000 and were granted $10,000 to use for the food and the administrative costs of running these mobile pantries. They are 100% supported and sponsored and run by volunteers in the communities, with the exception of me and our truck driver. For the Rimrock route, our truck driver does stay because we visit 3 different locations in those targeted neighborhoods. So we're there from like 10 to 2:30 on the second and fourth Thursdays of the month. And then at Allied, we're there on the second and fourth Fridays of the month. You can advance, please. So as you know, those are the targeted neighborhoods, and they match very, very well with the exact locations of where we operate our mobile pantries. Advance, please. So what we're looking at here is the food insecurity rates in those neighborhoods. So as you see, it's over 20% in those targeted spots. And that does coincide where we have our pantries. We are at Highland Manor, Seven Oaks, and then over at Deer Valley, as well as a great collaboration with folks we just saw from the Boys and Girls Club at Allied. We park next to them on Genuine for our Allied mobile pantry. So we did target those those areas where there is low access and low income and high food insecurity. Go ahead, please. So we did a survey, and this is, we just surveyed at one of our mobile pantries. We don't take a lot of information from the guests. The reason we don't is to limit barriers to people coming to food pantries, to mobile pantries. One of the reasons people do come to mobile pantries is because of the limited touch points. While many of our partners, and for very, very good reasons, such as grant writing, do collect more information from their guests, one of the great things about the mobile pantry is that we just ask how many in your household. And the reason we do that is so we know how much food to send the next time. So during this particular survey, we did ask more questions that were optional. And as you can see at each of those locations, we over 100 people were surveyed with just a few questions, but this is the data we got from that survey. You can see a high level of Spanish speakers attend our mobile pantries, particularly Allied. In fact, I was a little bit surprised to see that it was only 60%. I don't speak Spanish, and it's one of those things I dearly wish I could. But when I'm there, many people, we do a lot of sign language or body language to understand each other. We do have interpreters at both of those. I'm really happy to say those are volunteers who come. They're very, very committed to helping with the translation and answer any questions guests may have at those mobile pantries. One thing I want to highlight, and it's very unique to our mobile pantry program, is the average distance traveled to mobile pantries. Now, obviously, we're in the city, and our Second Harvest Food Bank covers 16 counties. Many of our mobile pantries are rural, and so people travel many, many miles to get to mobile pantries. But for this one, it's really under 10 miles. Many people walk or are coming, just a few miles to drive through. These are both drive-through pantries, although people do walk and carry a lot of groceries. We try to assist with volunteers to get folks home. Some people come in their wheelchairs and put the food on their laps, and off they go. So it's really very, very targeted distributions that we're doing there. Another point I will highlight is the percent that use both mobiles. What that means is we're there twice a month. So the question was, do you come to both of these? And most people do. It's their main source of additional food. Not a lot of them go to other mobile pantries, which also was very surprising. But it also reinforces the reason that we are where we are distributing. So that was very reinforcing to the method that we are using. Next slide, please. This is the stats for 2024 calendar year. We had 20 mobile pantries at the Allied location, over 3,000 households, and 12,000 individuals received food during that time period. At Rimrock, close numbers, we had 11,000 individuals supported at Rimrock. Weather is a huge challenge, and I know Allied was really hit in December and January during that time period. It is a long time for volunteers to be outside, so we really do watch the weather. We're trying not to be outside when there's lightning, and it's been pretty hot this summer. So, we try to know in advance and let people know if we're not going to be there. But that's the difference in those number of mobiles that occurred during that time period. Next slide, please. So we did a zip code question. So you can see the majority of zip code where people are from are really targeted in those neighborhoods. They come to the mobile pantries. So the dark green are the where the majority of the zip codes are coming from. And then, believe it or not, people come from Beaver Dam, Boscobel, kind of all over to reach those locations for food. And the next slide shows the Rimrock numbers by zip code. And again, it's very targeted in the dark color there, where most people are coming for those mobile pantries. And next slide, I think that might be it. Yeah, those are our values. I just want to highlight again the collaboration with other organizations. I mentioned Boys and Girls Club in the Allied neighborhood. We are also collaborating with the Badger Rock Community Center and Rooted, who are picking up 20 portions and taking it back to the community center to be distributed to folks who visit the community center. So that's been a really great collaboration, and we're happy because if you can't come during the time we're there, it is a little bit difficult to find food in that neighborhood. So that concludes my presentation. We're very grateful for the support of the City of Fitchburg. And does anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the committee? I have a question. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about the challenges that your community organization is facing.
Well, how much time do you have? No, obviously we are. One big thing that impacted all of our Dane County distributions, including our mobile pantry program, was the Dane County funding from the CARES Act was done as of December 31st. So that does impact the amount of local food that we can provide. Another impact was the eggs and avian flu. The cost of eggs skyrocketed, like $50 to $70 for 15 dozen. So that we sometimes had to send eggs every once a month, or right now we're not sending eggs at all. And it is something that every culture guests really look forward to getting eggs at the mobile pantries. Fundraising is tricky. Food donations are tricky. It's all of those things that are impacting us right now. We are the TFAP supporter for Dane County. That's the Emergency Food Assistance Program from the federal government. And they cut back about a third of that for July through September, which does impact the amount of meat and milk we're able to distribute through our TFAP program. Also, food share, that's a huge hit, going to be a huge hit. So, we anticipate that at our mobile pantries and with our food pantry partners, that we will be seeing more guests due to the cuts to food share and to Medicaid. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks for answering. And thank you for all of the work that you do in our community. Really appreciate your dedicated team.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Next up, we have Active Youth Wisconsin, if you are ready.
Amanda was unable to be here tonight for, I believe, family reasons, but she has sent a video, so we're going to watch the video. Yes, sir. Okay.
Director of Active Youth Wisconsin. Active Youth Wisconsin, formerly known as Try for Schools, creates accessible movement-based programs and events that are designed to build both mental and physical health in youth. We emphasize resilience, confidence building, and positive peer connection in all our lessons. Our $14,000 grant supported the training teams and Minds in Motion programs with the focus on the neighborhoods of Belmar Renaissance, North Fish Hatchery Road, and Verona Road West. To review, our two flagship programs fill key gaps in youth development. Training Teams is an 8 to 10 week after school program that uses triathlon to build confidence, teamwork, and endurance. Minds in Motion combines running with mindfulness. This program is for 6 weeks, and it helps kids manage stress and emotions while they're training for a 5K. Both of these programs address the sharp post-pandemic decline in activity and the increase in screen time. We make these programs accessible through financial aid. We supply kids with the gear they need and the convenience of being hosted at their school. Our programs are designed to align with 4 of HNI's key areas, and those include education enhancement, life skills development, healthy lifestyles and access to care, and community building. Through consistent participation, goal setting, accessible programming, and inclusive community engagement, we believe we've delivered on each of these priorities. There were 562 kids that participated in our training team program. Of those 562 kids, 112 of those kids were from priority neighborhoods. This included 24 students at Leopold, 15 at Midvale, 16 at Glacier Edge, 26 at Sugar Creek, 10 students at Glen Stevens, and 21 at the Allied Learning Center. The outcomes of this project are best described through 3 main pillars: youth empowerment, community connection, and equitable access. We've seen remarkable personal growth as children achieve goals they never thought would be possible, whether it was learning to swim and ride a bike, running further than they've ever have before, or completing their first triathlon. The sense of accomplishment fosters a deep inner confidence that translates to every aspect of their life, both inside and outside the classroom. In fact, through surveys, we found that 98% of participants completed their goal event, and many of which reported feeling proud and capable in ways they had never experienced before. Beyond individual growth, our programs spark community building in very powerful ways. Kids from different schools and different neighborhoods and backgrounds come together to train, to encourage one another, and celebrate that shared success. We've seen friendships form across schools, kids that lend gear to teammates, and groups rallying around struggling peers during a tough practice. These moments create real change. Through our surveys, 85% of participants showed stronger peer relationship skills, and 90% demonstrated greater engagement in their communities. Most importantly, we've remained steadfast in our commitment to equitable access. 41% of our participants received financial assistance, and over 200 other students benefited from us providing equipment such as bikes and shoes. We ensure that no child is ever turned away. One of our coaches told us a very memorable story. She had a student who barely spoke during the first week of the program, but he actually finished the season by leading stretches, cheering on others during practices, and offered to help new participants. That's what our programs are all about. We're helping kids become more confident, more connected, and more resilient. Today, we have 6 schools already committed to running the Minds in Motion program, and we have 10 more that have expressed strong interest. This momentum shows that our model works and that the need and enthusiasm for it is growing across our region. We're grateful to have the support of the City of Fitchburg and the Healthy Neighborhoods program. We can't make this positive impact on kids without your generosity. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you for that presentation.
Okay.
Next, we have the road home of Dane County.
They're supposed to join online, and it looks like they're not here yet, but they aren't scheduled to present until, let me look here.
We're 5 minutes early.
Yeah. So I can go through the updates that I have for all of you while we're waiting, and then afterwards, hopefully, by the time I get through all that, they'll be on. So the first thing is on my side of things, I've been attending quite a few events throughout the summer, along with the neighborhood navigators, where we're doing outreach in the priority neighborhoods to get some feedback for the strategic plan. So I've taken these large poster boards. They're essentially surveys, but I got a lot of feedback from the city as a whole that they don't necessarily appreciate taking surveys all the time. So to get a little creative with it, and at the next meeting I'll show you all the boards, but they're like these colorful, fun boards that residents and community members can put stickers on. Essentially, it's the same as the survey, but it's more prompting you, like, what are your 3 priorities in your neighborhood, and how could your neighborhood be healthier, or what would you like to see change? And so typically I've brought candy, and the kids will come up because they want the candy, and then the parents will be like, oh, are your parents here? And then they'll go get their parents, and their parents will come fill out the board so the kids can get the candy. So we have the sticker board, and then we also have a Post-it note board where there's a couple prompts asking what would make your neighborhood healthier and what would make it safer, where we're not so much prompting them on what they have to respond to. It's more open-ended, so they can, whatever they would like to say, they can leave their comments. So we've been attending the Parks Alive in partnership with the City of Madison, as well as some food pantries, and then some other like one-off community events. And next week is a big week. I have training next week in Illinois it's the Community Development Institute with the university, so I will be taking some classes, but hopefully our neighborhood navigator, Eureka, can attend the final Leopold Parks Alive, and then there's Community Night Out next Wednesday, and then next Thursday I plan to be at the Southdale Resource Fair event. I'm going to drive from Illinois and hopefully make it on time to set everything up. So that's the big update in terms of events, and upcoming later in the year we'll talk through all of the information that I gathered and kind of what we learned from those communities. And then for the hub, same update as last time. It's slated to be wrapped up in the fall. And I'm also working on the mid-year check-in with our grantees for 2025. That'll be happening in September. So we've got just a list of questions for them. I send out emails if they'd like to do it either virtual or in person, whichever they prefer, just to see how things are going and maybe if they need support or if things aren't working, just to check in and see how the programs are running. And then our next meeting is in October, where we will discuss about the strategic plan. But looks like Angela's here, so we can go ahead with the road home.
Hi. Thank you, Jessica, for all of those updates and for those creative solutions for receiving feedback. And thank you so much, Angela, for joining us. We're really excited to hear about how the road home has been doing and what kind of challenges you're facing and anything like that.
Yeah, thank you. And there's my slides. That's great. So thanks for having me. I am the fundraising and community engagement manager. So just a little brief overview about Heartroom. This is the program that the funding from the Healthy Neighborhoods Grant went to. It was designed to demonstrate that there's a better way for families to maintain stable housing and empower them to achieve long-term goals. You can go to the next slide. This started as a faith in action approach. So Orchard Ridge came to us in 2018 and wanted to create a program that was unlike the typical housing programs with the city or with the county. And so they were already working a little bit with the Joining Forces for Families in their neighborhood and early childhood initiative through RISE. And so with us having going to be the housing advocate to help families, it just all came together with a brainstorm. And that's just kind of how it started. It was initially a pilot program. And after 3 years with the first cohorts, it became a permanent program. So It's still going really strong. We have 12 families, 11 or 12 right now. So it's a full caseload for Maximiliano. Next slide. So these are the details. So Heartroom is a 3-year program, which is a little bit longer than some of the other ones. Typically, they tend to be about a 2-year with an extension. A lot of them you can apply for an extension. So families must be living in a joining forces for families or early childhood initiative neighborhood at the time of enrollment. It used to be that they had to stay in those neighborhoods, but because housing is so scarce, if for some reason they need to leave their current apartment, they can move away from that neighborhood and still work with our housing advocate. And then any of the raised funds to support the program and the families go to their tiered rent. So for an example, if they, just for ease of numbers, if year 1, they start with $6,000 to put toward their rent, year 2, it's $5,000, and then year 3, it's $4,000. And they kind of get to decide how much they use. Their advocate works with them to kind of let them know what their average per month is going to be. But if they end up with needing they have car problems, so they might need to use some extra money for a car payment or repairs or whatever, or they don't get as many hours at work or whatever it might be, or they come into an abundance and I'm not going to use so much this month, I'm going to save it. So that is up to them. The housing advocate that we have, Maximiliano, is bilingual and bicultural. He provides excellent expert case management, connecting with the families to the resources in the community, and works with the landlords and the schools, and also works with the JFF and ECI partners on a regular basis. So they all stay connected through the time of the program. Next slide, please. So the referral process for Heartroom is a collaborative effort as well. So families must be struggling to secure or maintain their housing or living in those unsafe situations. They have to be ineligible for any other housing programs. So they could be on a waiting list for a voucher or public housing, something like that. But at the time of enrollment, they cannot be eligible to receive that right now. And we always welcome immigrants and refugees into the program. They have to have at least 1 child under the age of 10. And we do bring families that have a child under the age of 3 or younger to the top of the list. And then they must be enrolled in ECI or JFF at that time as well and continue to work with them. Next slide. So this is just a little bit, I'm not going to read through this completely, but Alita is the head of household for the family that Maximiliano has been working with and who is receiving the funds from the Healthy Neighborhood Grant. She and her young daughter moved here a couple of years ago from Ecuador, and Lori from JFF, she's over at on Deer Valley Road, and Alita, they live at the Maple Glen Apartments. And last January, Alita suffered a stroke and had a lot of nerve damage on one side of her body. As a housekeeper, that was really tough for her. But because of the subsidies, she never missed a payment for her rent. So even though she had to cut back on work, she was able to use some of that subsidy to be able to meet her rent and never missed a payment. So that was great. She doesn't drive, but she does commute with the bus. And even though the bus is not always super reliable, I think whenever her shifts start, she has to leave her house 2 hours early to make sure she gets on the bus in time. And then if the weather is bad, she misses her connections. But Max has been great to pick her up and take her to work on bad weather days. So that's been awesome for that. So next slide. And she's making really good progress with her recovery. It's been taking a while, but she's doing awesome. And with Max's help, she's been able to navigate MyChart to schedule her own appointments and Badger Care to arrange for transportation to those appointments. So that's been great. Her quality of life, she's much happier. She's doing really well. We have this amazing partnership with the YMCA. We get free gift certificates for 1-year family memberships. So she's been able to utilize that and go to the pool and do her recovery through that. And then Anna can play with other kids. She's been budgeting more effectively. And so with that, she doesn't have to work every single weekend, so together they can spend more time. And for the first time ever, she was able to take Anna to the beach, which was really fun for them. And Anna's a great student. She's doing really, really well, and her mom is a hard worker, and she's instilling that hard work into Anna, who has been doing schoolwork all summer long so that she stays on track. When school starts this fall, Anna is fluent in both English and Spanish and gets really good grades, has a lot of friends. So she's doing really, really well. And the support from Fitchburg Healthy Neighborhoods Fund has ensured that this family has been successful and is on their way to stability and a brighter future. And we're very grateful. Thank you. Does anybody have questions?
Thank you so much for that presentation and for that personal story as well. Really helps put a face to our community members. And are there any questions from the committee? I don't have any questions either.
Okay.
So I'm really grateful for all of your work in our community, all of the support you're giving to our residents, and the hard work of your team. So thank you for coming, and thank you for
thanks for your time. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Ari, you've gotten all my report before the presentation, so we're good to end the meeting.
Awesome. Jessica, once again, really grateful for all the work you're doing with community outreach and getting creative. So thank you for that update. And I will adjourn the meeting.
Just a moment. Hey,
Please.
Jess, just a quick question with regards to the next meeting. Can you give me a little bit more insight as to the pillars that we'll be working on, or what they entail of the, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just looking for more details as to what we're actually looking to do for the next meeting in particular.
Great question, Sharif. So the plan, and I mean, it's a couple months away, but I'm hoping to have a pretty rough draft of the Healthy Neighborhoods Plan put together with the data and going through things, and we can discuss what you all think of it and just get some feedback there. I'm looking at potentially going and talking with the Equity Committee to see if maybe there's some things, maybe some oversight that I've had, but I need to look at the meetings and see how that all lines up, because I don't want to update them on something before I update all of you. But yes, for the next meeting, we're looking at hopefully potentially a rough draft of the plan, and I'll walk you all through what the outreach has looked like. I'll probably have a couple spreadsheets with some data, just aggregating everything, all of the feedback that we've received from those boards. I'll have the boards here so you can all look at them. I've loved them because I've gotten to do a lot of outreach and meet the community members, and they've really challenged my Spanish speaking abilities, which is great. So I'll bring the boards. We'll talk through some things, but I'll make sure I send out an email with some more information. I think we lost Sharif.
Yes, I think so too. But thank you very much, Jessica. And are there any other comments, thoughts, or questions before we end the meeting? Hearing none, we're adjourned.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.